I want to turn to the latest in the 2020 election. We got some news earlier this afternoon. Senator Bernie Sanders, has endorsed former Vice President Joe Biden for president. Now, Sanders did this during a live stream conversation with the former vice president. We have Rick Newman joining us now for more on this. Rick?
Hey, this is good news if you're a Democrat, I think. We knew Bernie Sanders was going to get behind Joe Biden. I think it's a bit of a surprise he came out and endorsed him so soon. Elizabeth Warren still has not endorsed Joe Biden. So Joe Biden clearly is the nominee at this point. And this really unifies the party, a very different outlook here than maybe just 6 weeks ago when it looked as if Biden and Sanders might go all the way to the convention. I mean, remember when we were talking about a contested or a brokered convention in a big fight that might fracture the Democratic Party? Not even remotely the case at this point. So Biden's the guy. He's basically got the whole party against him, behind him at this point. And this actually comes at a time when it's not the Democratic Party that seems to be fracturing, but the Republican Party, as Trump is getting criticism, President Trump, from people within his own party who are saying he needs to scale back his appearances at these briefings, let the experts do more of the talking. And then Trump is saying nothing doing. The party has to get behind me. So very interesting turn in just a very, very short period of time here.
Hey, Rick, why do you think he did this so quickly? What do you think was the reason behind, or what is the advantage of doing this in such a timely manner?
For once, I might actually take a politician at his word. Bernie Sanders said, look, we need to unify in the mission to defeat Donald Trump, and that could be it. I mean, the argument for Bernie Sanders holding out for a little longer was that the longer he withheld his support or his endorsement from Joe Biden, the more he might be able to get Joe Biden to make some concessions on policy leaning in Bernie's direction. But Biden has already done that. So that may be what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, one of the things Joe Biden just said recently is he's open to Bernie Sanders' idea of opening Medicare, lowering the age at which you can enroll in Medicare from 65 to 60. So that is a nod toward, the Bernie Sanders Medicare for All plan. So maybe there was a little bit of a tit for tat here behind the scenes. Bernie saying, you come my way on a couple of important policies, and I'll just endorse you outright sooner than people expected.
Yeah, Rick, talking about some of the policies, I know you were looking into what Joe Biden's, what his response has been to coronavirus so far, what he would do, what the policy he would put forward if he were president, if he was elected president in 2020. When you were going through that, did anything stand out to you just in terms of maybe things that the Democrats would be able to latch on to, that they agree with him on, that they could also support him in doing as well?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Biden's coronavirus plan, he put an op-ed in the New York Times over the weekend. His coronavirus plan is very straightforward. It's just basically an amalgamation of things that all the well-known public health experts and economists are saying at this point. It's not really that controversial. It's dramatically increased testing, using the power of the federal government to take more control of the supply chain for protective equipment and testing and things like that. I think the only thing surprising at this point is that President Trump doesn't really have such a plan. There's nothing that's remarkable about Joe Biden's plan, except that Trump doesn't have one he can answer with.
Yeah, well, that is one of the issues going forward. That certainly will be front and center as we close in on November 2020. Rick Newman, thanks so much for joining the show today.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.